Welcome back to Blake's Takes, everyone. As always, with me, my co-host Garrett. And today, we are going to be reviewing Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. See, you got the Ant-Man helmet on today, Garrett?
I do indeed. I don't think I've actually had a practical use for this, so it's nice to have one.
It's good to finally have a use for that Ant-Man helmet.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time where we were obsessed with getting those Hasbro toys with all the different Marvel character helmets.
I think we got like 6 apiece.
We have, and the weird reason Garrett sounds like that is because he's literally wearing the helmet. So we got the Ant-Man one, Guardians of the Galaxy, Star-Lords.
Iron Man, as you can see, we got the faceplate up there.
Iron Man, Black Panther helmet.
Infinity Gauntlet.
Thanos, Infinity Stone
Infinity
Gauntlet.
War and Endgame.
Yep, the Nanotech Gauntlet as well.
Yep.
Thor's hammer.
Captain America shield.
Captain America shield. Jesus Christ, we really do have a lot.
We got a shitload.
Okay, well, Garrett's about to take off the helmet, so now you can finally understand him.
Okay.
But yeah, Ant-Man it is today. Finally got used for that helmet. So, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, the kickoff to Phase 5. This had a lot of expectations going into it.
Is it Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania?
Yeah, it is.
It's not just Ant-Man Quantumania?
It's not just Ant-Man.
Oh.
So we'll
dang.
kind of get to that later.
I didn't even know that, honestly.
We'll get to that later. You know, should Wasp been on the title? I mean,
that's a good question.
Right, good question. We'll dive into that later. But yeah, this is the kickoff to Phase 5. And we knew this was going to be the introduction to Kang the Conqueror, who's going to be basically the big bad guy of the MCU coming up, the next Thanos, the next big level threat to the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
The next Avengers level threat.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we have Avengers Kang Dynasty coming.
Yep.
So there's a lot of writing on this movie.
Mm-hmm.
There is. And just like a quick spoiler-free synopsis about the plot, you have Scott, Hope, Cass, Janet, Hank all find themselves stuck in the quantum realm after finding out Cass has been sending the quantum realm signals, messages from Earth.
Yeah, she was sending that in there because she was like, if I had a device like this that could map out the quantum realm, I could have found you sooner and you wouldn't have been stuck in the quantum realm for 5 years. So that was basically her motivation for creating this thing.
And so on their journey down there, searching for the way to get back home, they run into Kang the Conqueror, who has built an empire down in the quantum realm, looking for ways to forge his army upon other universes. Mm-hmm. He's trying to get out of the quantum realm.
Yeah, he was
just cause hell.
Yeah, he was exiled there and he's just trying to get out.
Right. So I do want to go over the scores that this movie has been getting, because I've never seen such polar opposite reviews of a movie before in the MCU.
For real, dude, this has actually been insane.
It's insane. So the critic score right now on Rotten Tomatoes is 48%, but the audience score is 84%.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything that lopsided.
I know.
I never have. And just for an example, we'll go over some other MCU movies that have, a pretty decent range between the critic score and the audience score. So Thor Love and Thunder, which I think is easily worse, has a 64% for the critic score.
Yeah.
77% audience score.
All right.
That's too bad.
Too big of a jump.
Not too big. Eternals, 47% critic score, 77% audience score.
Okay.
It's a little bigger.
Yeah. A little bigger gap there.
Now, Black Panther, you got a 96% critic score and a 79% audience score.
Interesting.
So kind of, different
Opposite
directions.
there,
yeah, opposite there. Captain Marvel, 79% critic score, 45% audience score.
Okay.
That's a big one.
That's a big jump. Yeah. That's about the same as this one, but just in the opposite direction.
Yep, opposite direction. And Black Widow, 79% critic score, 91% audience score.
Interesting.
That shocks me.
What? Yeah, I did not think Black Widow would have that kind of audience score.
I didn't either. So you can see that this clearly has the largest gap between the critic score and the audience score in the MCU.
Yeah. Going either way, whether they thought it was better and we liked it more, or we liked it more and they thought it was worse.
So,
but it does like kind of paint a picture of like what is the priority and like what critics are paying attention to when they watch MCU movies.
And I'm going to be clear right off the bat, with this review, this is now the second lowest rated MCU movie ever, but there are definitely a handful of movies that I easily like this more than.
Yeah.
I like this better than Captain Marvel. I liked it better than Thor Love and Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed Eternals, but I'd say I enjoyed it more than Eternals.
I enjoy this more.
I enjoyed it more than Thor Dark World.
Yeah. And doesn't this have a worse rating than Dark World?
Yeah, by far.
I don't understand that.
Because like whether I'm on Letterboxd or on TikTok, I'm seeing this is the worst MCU film.
Yeah.
But then I'm seeing, this is not as bad as people are saying. It's fun. So you really don't know what to expect if you're looking at these reviews.
I truly don't understand the bad ratings. Like,
Okay, we'll dive.
I mean, I guess if you really want to take it, once you start taking like a deep critical look, which we'll get into.
I mean, the more you think about it, you definitely think about the holes in the movie and all that.
But I feel like you could literally make that argument for any movie.
Yeah, I mean, you could, but like, I was entertained.
I was entertained for sure.
I was entertained. So this movie wasn't great by any means.
No.
But it wasn't terrible by any means as well.
I think like good is just a good. It's just good. It's a good movie.
Just good.
I wouldn't call it a mid movie either.
You could probably say like maybe like, I don't know, like okay. It was an okay movie.
I'd say it's better than okay.
Okay.
Honestly.
So let's go over first. We'll try to keep it spoiler free for now, but let's go over, what we did like in this movie. Let's stick with the positives right now. I mean, you want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, first positive right off the bat for me is it's an Ant-Man movie, so the comedy.
Okay.
I thought the comedy was great.
I thought the comedy was a lot more balanced as opposed to Thor: Love and Thunder, for sure.
Honestly, I feel like we're going to be making a lot of comparisons to Thor: Love and Thunder because the comedy in that one was just felt so forced.
It did.
Versus compared to this, like this one actually felt natural. It made a lot of sense for just like Paul Rudd and his kind of comedy.
Yeah.
And like his kind of happy-go-lucky type of personality that he's developed as Ant-Man.
Right. And I know a lot of people are saying that this kind of lost the Ant-Man charm from the first one.
Yeah.
But it's still Paul Rudd being Paul Rudd.
Yeah, no, for sure. I will say I did miss Louise in this movie.
Yeah.
I missed Louise.
I did too, man. I did. We got like, what if we had some like quantum realm Louise?
Dude,
some multiverse
that
Louise?
Hilarious.
Oh shit. Should they have done that?
Bro, actually, it's funny.
They should have had a multiverse Louise.
I literally whispered to Berto, like, well, you know how Janet kept saying, like, and she was going to meet up with her old buddy that they met up with the person in the saloon or the bar. I literally said, bro, how funny would it be if like some random comedian like Adam Sandler was going to be the friend? And I was pretty close with that guess. And what if they had an interdimensional Louise be the friend?
That would have been hilarious.
That would have been funny.
I mean, they also showed that person during the trailer as well. Yeah. I don't know if you saw that trailer, but
I didn't even know they showed him. Okay.
Some interdimensional Louise would have been fucking great.
That would have been great.
Just to keep it going, just to keep that
Quantum Louise.
Quantum Louise, yeah. Just to keep that gag going.
For real. And then he does flashbacks about Kang.
Oh my God.
That would have been great.
See, but then people probably would have been complaining that that's too comedic for this level of a story.
Probably.
This level of threat.
Probably.
But I did think the comedy was landing a lot more than Thor: Love and Thunder.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it honestly, dude, there were so many times where I was like, Chris Hemsworth, please shut the fuck up. It's not funny.
Yeah. Well, every serious moment that they were having in Thor: Love and Thunder was just being undermined by a comedic punchline.
Yeah, like it didn't need it.
No.
Versus like this, they like set it up to be funny and the punchlines were funny.
Yes. So, Paul Rudd, positive. Obviously, another positive is going to be Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror.
Honestly, that should have been number one.
I
freaking love Jonathan Majors, and he's
killing it.
Bro, he is killing it in Hollywood right now.
He is.
Like, absolutely. I can't wait to see him in Creed 3. He looks like an absolute beast.
Yeah, he does.
And damn, does he look badass as Kang.
He does. And I really love that they gave him a serious tone. Like, the scenes that he was in felt menacing.
Yes.
They didn't throw any comedic relief really during those scenes. You had Paul Rudd with a line here and there, but that's also just Paul Rudd being Paul Rudd.
Yeah, that's just how that's Scott Lang.
Yeah, exactly.
When he gets put in pressured situations like that, in really intense situations, comedy is his way of dealing with that. So but it didn't overtake the scene or anything. No, and his comedy didn't last.
Right.
Because like once Kang like showed him what was up,
right.
So he kind of cut that out pretty quick.
So Jonathan Majors absolutely fucking killed it as Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah, he did. And it was really interesting to see the differences between Kang and He Who Remains in Loki.
Yes.
I loved seeing the personality differences between these two variants.
And I really like both.
I do too.
I really did like the variant in Loki. I thought that was a good introduction.
I thought that was a good introduction. Personally, I think I like him better because I liked his like whole zany personality.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good touch.
I did rewatch the last episode of Loki before heading into this. And yeah, you know, when he's like stepping on the table and stuff.
And that's the gambit.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I
did like his personality a lot in Loki.
So, but this one was definitely a lot more menacing, a lot more terrifying because like apparently, you know, like you said, He Who Remains, he was the nice one.
Yes.
He's the nice one who figured out how to keep the peace.
Right. Because Sylvie was like, what are you scared of?
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah. I'm
wait till you meet my other variants.
Just wait till you meet my variants. He's like, see you soon.
Yeah. Like they are not so pure of heart. Is there anything else that comes to your mind that you enjoyed?
Like just a general positive thing?
Yeah. Did you enjoy the quantum realm in this movie?
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about the CGI.
Okay.
I thought the CGI for the quantum realm and just like the whole set design, I thought it was really good. I thought this had a good CGI to it. Right. And it was like, obviously, this being the quantum realm, everything was CGI.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of hard not to be all CGI.
Exactly.
I mean, sure, CGI may have looked better in some scenes than others, but for the most part, I never thought it was too distracting. Like, damn, this shit is bad. I'm getting distracted from it.
No, like there was probably one scene where I actually like noticed like a clear separation between what was real like and what was the background in the green screen.
Yeah, the set in the background.
Yeah, so there was like one scene where I did notice that, but for the most part, I thought this did a really good job of capturing the quantum realm. And yes, very Star Wars-esque. But
we have been getting a lot of Star Wars comparisons.
I thought it was cool though.
It did feel heavy Star Wars during some scenes.
It did.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I've been seeing mixed emotions about the CGI, but for the most part, thought it was fine.
Yo, also Kang's suit. Bro.
Kang's suit, yes.
Kang's suit
was good.
Was sick. That one wasn't CGI. It looked like it was mostly practical.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
But
obviously the helmet CGI, but
but I loved that. I loved it. It looks so good to me.
Jonathan Major just looks like a badass.
He does.
He just does.
Bro, I swear, he looks like a badass in anything he does.
Because with Jonathan Majors too, I feel like he's most menacing across all movies he's in when he's talking his most quiet.
Yeah.
And you really have to like lean into what he's saying. But that's when he's like most menacing. When he's talking in his quiet, serious tone.
Yeah, but I mean, Jesus, when he started yelling in this too, though, I was terrified.
Yeah, I like in Loki when he was like, grow up.
Yeah.
All right, so let's dive into, our general non-spoiler dislikes of this movie.
I'll say definitely one of the weakest points to me was their whole reason for going into the quantum realm.
Okay, yeah.
Like that seemed kind of forced, and it's like,
well, and they dive very quickly into it.
I feel like they kind of had to, especially if you want to cover as much as they covered in the quantum realm. Like we had to get in there. Like I feel like there wouldn't have really been like a natural way to, go through the portal to begin with.
Yeah.
But I mean, the motivation for, Cassie to even mess with that. I'm like, bro, who are you looking for? Your dad's here. Yeah. Like it's over. And, it's always curiosity killed the cat with most of this shit. Like, they're so intrigued. I'm like, bro, stop messing with shit you don't understand.
Speaking of Cass, I would say that would be a dislike for me was going to be Catherine Newton as Cass Lang, and not so much not her, but her character in this movie.
Yeah, and just like the writing that they gave her.
Yeah. Like she kind of annoyed me. Yeah, she kind of annoyed me.
I thought another thing that was pretty annoying was like how Janet just absolutely refused to like reveal any secrets until like the very end.
Kind of like plot armor there.
Yeah, I was like, girl, you are in the quantum realm. You guys are stuck here, and you're like, and it's always I was just trying to protect you. I'm like, they will literally be safer if you tell them what to expect.
Yeah.
That shit always pisses me off. Honestly, that's why I stopped watching The Flash, because that was like one of the things they always did. It's like, I lied to protect you. When the fuck does that work? It never works. Stop doing it.
Another thing that I didn't really connect with either were like the relationships in this movie. They didn't really build any, if I'm going to be honest. With the people that they met down in the quantum realm, I didn't really feel too much of a connection with them because they had so much to cover. There just wasn't really any time to connect with other characters with this movie.
Yeah, like a lot of the side characters that we got.
Yeah,
like we didn't get another Korg, basically.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
We didn't get another Korg.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is a negative that I have seen a lot of people talk about, is that it feels like the MCU with these movies lately, they're not focused on the present. They're just focused on setting up the next movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
like it feels like the whole point of having this movie isn't for the character itself. It's for the bigger picture.
For the bigger picture, for Kang, for the Kang dynasty.
Yeah.
And I get it. You got to introduce us to characters like Kang. But yeah, I can see how that will affect people's viewing, like, you know, kind of affects consequences of the movie as well. I mean, time and time again, it does kind of feel like these movies are blending together, if I'm going to be honest. Like, there's obviously a very strict formula, and everything does kind of seem blending together for the most part within, you know, phase 4, now beginning with phase 5.
Yeah, I feel like we really haven't gotten like an extremely unique MCU film in a while.
I mean, Eternals. Eternals probably the most unique one.
Eternals probably was the most unique.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, I feel like people have a hard time differentiating between different and bad.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't know, you know, I don't know how people are going to react. Like, if people want to switch it up, they want to see something different that's going to make this movie stick out from every other MCU, but still applying to the bigger picture like it needs to.
Right.
But then it seems like Marvel can't figure that out. They can't figure it out. They can't step away from the formula and do it in a way that people are going to like.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, because I feel like they're also trying to stay within their target audience. You know, they're trying too hard to stay in that family-friendly
and
genre.
See that. Yeah, I totally agree, and I think that is part of the problem as well.
Right.
Is because, bro, these movies started in 2008.
Yeah,
I was 7 years old when Iron Man came out, bro, and you know. And even Iron Man, like arguably that was like a more inappropriate movie than the ones that we're getting now.
It's funny because as the older we've gotten, the more family friendly these movies have become.
The more childish they are.
Yeah.
And you know, like, and that's like the exact opposite of what Avatar and what Clone Wars did with those shows.
Yeah, with the TV shows.
They grew with their audience.
Yep.
They got more serious. They knew what the audience wanted. And it seems like this is doing the exact opposite, especially because it's being run by, you know, family-friendly Disney.
Right. Yes. Because, you look at some of the movies within the MCU, I mean, like Winter Soldier and Civil War.
So good.
I mean, those had a more serious tone to it.
You know, and I know that the sale of Marvel to Disney, like, it was pretty early in the MCU. It was pretty early, but I feel like they gave... I don't know. I just feel like maybe there was a little bit more creative control in the early days of the MCU, and then now it's becoming too corporate, and they're just trying too hard to people please.
It is funny we bring that up. Older we've gotten, it definitely has felt more and more family friendly. I don't know. Yeah, they're trying to reach too big of an audience.
Yeah,
and to be honest, it's not making them more money.
No,
if I'm gonna be real,
it's not.
It's not.
If anything, it's definitely just caused like the degradation of the MCU.
Yeah.
And if anything, it's lowered their ticket sales. Like their main audience that they developed in like the first 10 years of the MCU are starting to turn away from it.
Right.
Because they're not growing with it.
Yeah. And I mean, sure, going to the movies isn't going to be the same as it was years ago. But I mean, it's getting back to normal. And like we said, if you're hurting your product because of it, because you're trying to be too inclusive with family friendly shit.
Yeah.
Some people are going to start getting turned off by that kind of stuff.
Honestly, at this point, I would have expected a rated R MCU movie. And we have yet to get that. Like,
we will.
I mean, come on. Would you expect that? I would expect that by now.
To be honest, no.
Really?
I wouldn't expect that.
One rated R one?
I wouldn't expect that.
One?
Well, we're going to get it. We're going to get it with Deadpool 3.
That's not MCU, though.
It will be? Will it? Yeah.
I don't think so.
Bro, with the Secret Wars and all that shit? Yes.
All right, bro. They might tone down the Merc with a mouth.
They can't.
They might.
They fucking can't.
They fucking might.
They can't.
I would not put it past Disney, bro. I wouldn't put it past them. They will not let Ryan Reynolds be Ryan Reynolds. I can totally see that happening.
Oh, they got to, man. Well, let's, start moving into the spoiler zone. So if you are listening, we are going to start talking about spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, pause here, go watch it, and come back. Okay.
Unless you really don't care. But
yeah. All right. So let's move into spoilers of what we didn't like about this movie. Hope, Wasp, whose name is on the goddamn poster, she is sidelined quite a bit in this movie.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, she is.
Now I
feel
get
like the main focus
Right.
was definitely Cassie, Scott, and Janet.
Now, Janet
Kang.
is technically Wasp as well. She was Wasp.
True. All right.
Right?
Yeah. So I guess she
could
makes it for the title.
Could have double meaning.
Yeah. And we got 2 Ant-Mans in there as well. Hank was
Right.
technically Ant-Man too.
Right. But no, I did feel like Hope was sidelined pretty heavily in this. You know,
For sure.
To be honest, I haven't really connected with her in like any of the movies that she's been in between the last Ant-Man,
Especially
and
the
Wasp.
first one, I didn't connect with her.
Right, yeah.
The first in Ant-Man and the Wasp,
Yes.
I feel like she was definitely more of a main character.
Yeah. But I
But-
still didn't really connect too much with her. Now, the big thing that I want to talk about with what I didn't like about Quantumania. Okay. I mean, I've been feeling this for a while, but I'm starting to feel like there's no consequences.
No, I definitely agree with you. Like, I had a feeling this entire time, like, I thought this might be the last time we see Ant-Man, bro.
Bro,
Like, I had a strong feeling. I thought this was it.
I did too.
I thought this was it. And honestly, I wouldn't have been mad.
No.
I wouldn't have been mad. I thought this would have been a good close to Paul Rudd in the MCU.
I'm going to need to start seeing some sacrifices.
Yes.
Because that's when you start to feel connected to these movies.
Yes, that's when you feel it. That's when the movie feels more real.
Yes.
And that's when this universe starts to feel more real. Like how real did it feel when we lost, Cap and Iron Man in Endgame?
Right.
And Black Widow.
And Black Widow, Gamora. I mean, I know she's coming back.
She's still here.
Yeah,
she's
right.
still here.
But like that shit hit in Infinity War.
Bro, that shit hits. But yeah, he even said the line, I don't have to win. We both just have to lose.
Yeah.
I was like, bro,
okay.
This is it.
I thought that was it. If he's not going to die, I thought he was at least going to be stuck in the quantum realm.
Yeah. And we were never
and now Cass, because of all of what she's been learning, can track her father now. And so the next, storyline of this movie, like the whole reasoning for them getting stuck in the quantum realm was to be able to map out the quantum realm, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Scott now gets stuck down there because he sacrifices himself for his family, and then you can use what she learned in like the next movie or whatever.
Bro, I'm just saying though, if he did get himself stuck down there
Right.
and Kang, he was dead. Kang was going to kill him.
Well, yeah, for
So-
sure.
If he got stuck, he was dead.
Well, I mean, no, because he killed that Kang somehow.
Bro,
Remember?
he was screwed until Hope showed up.
Yes.
He was screwed.
Well, also, I thought Hope was going to get stuck down there too.
Well, she did.
No, she didn't.
They both did, and then they opened the portal.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're not down there anymore, bro.
No, I know. Technically, they were stuck.
But they aren't.
But they aren't. Okay, also,
uh,
also, this is just me theorizing here. But Scott said time works differently in the quantum realm because when he was in there for 5 minutes, 5 years went by.
Yeah.
After the snap.
Yeah.
So how do we know that when he got stuck down there with Hope, that portal showed up like a minute later? And how do we know like a year didn't pass?
Well, I mean, the whole family was stuck down there in the quantum realm as well, but they came back like nothing happened.
Yeah, I know.
So-
I don't get that.
Right, no, that's a good point.
Maybe Cassie's like whole, map guiding system, like they were able to avoid the time place
Or, like,
because they knew where to come out.
Right,
I don't know.
Get into a part of the quantum realm that pauses time. I don't know.
I really don't know
That's
because
interesting,
because Tony's whole thing, like he was able to figure out time travel because he was able to go into the quantum realm and he built the GPS
Right.
that so they could go through each point in time.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know. This is just there's no understanding MCU science, but
Would you plan to save the universe Back to the Future? No. Good.
good because that would be bullshit.
So I'm going to need to start seeing more consequences, some sacrifices.
Right. And
Like,
especially with these older
yeah.
people playing these characters. No hate to Paul Rudd. Man looks amazing for his age.
Absolutely.
But he's like what, in his late 50s?
He's in his 50s, like early 50s.
I don't know, but
The point
man's
is-
in his 50s.
Well, the thing is, it used to be, okay, you play these characters for only a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's the rare occasion where you have people like RDJ, who plays Iron Man for a long time. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine for a long time. So, I mean, yeah, it depends, but those are the rare occasions.
Hugh Jackman's the only Wolverine.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I know, right? I mean, RDJ only... All these characters that we haven't gotten before.
No. There's like the old ass Iron Mans. Like technically there is another. There's like technically old Avenger stuff.
Oh,
but,
you're right.
Bro, Hugh Jackman is literally the Wolverine. Like only
live action Wolverine.
Only live action.
That's pretty cool,
right?
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen pictures of Hugh Jackman recently, but he's getting fucking.
Is
jacked.
he yoked again?
Yeah, he's yoked again because there was a picture of him starting the training back in like October, whatever it was. And, pretty skinny for what we're usually used to seeing for Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Then they just posted a picture recently, like this past month.
Yeah.
Man, it's fucking huge again.
Dude, that's insane. That is just insane how they do that.
Yeah.
I wish I could get paid to be jacked.
I'd do that in a heartbeat. Like
I would too.
I know they all complain
they
about
all
like,
say it's hell.
Right.
They all say it's hell.
But
I would love to just see my body in peak condition for like 1 year of my life.
And you're getting paid to do it.
And you're getting paid.
Okay.
And plus, you don't gotta cook. You got personal chefs, man.
Come on, man.
Bro, you are getting paid to go to the gym, and you get to eat delicious ass food that's good for you. Like, come on.
So I don't know if this is gonna be a dislike or a like for you. What do you think of MODOK?
MODOK. Definitely some positives and negatives there. I mean, he's not like. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have too much knowledge on MODOK, but as far as I know, he's not like too serious of a character.
Yeah, no. I think he's pretty dumb for the most part.
He's just a joke. He's a floating head. Like, you know what I mean? Like, look at him. He's just funny looking.
Yeah.
And I mean, I thought the twist with Darren Cross was actually pretty good. I thought his whole revenge thing was funny between him and Scott.
Well, there was that revenge thing, but then at the end of the movie when he turned against Kang, because he was working for Kang.
Yeah.
Because Kang built him.
Mm-hmm.
But then I feel like that switch all of a sudden where he turned against Kang was just so quick and kind of made into a joke.
It was very quick.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, honestly, it didn't like surprise me though. Like it didn't not make sense for his character because Darren's whole thing is literally just like seeking approval. He was seeking Hank's approval. He was seeking Kang's approval. And then after, Kang, like, yeah, I mean, honestly, it seemed like Kang didn't give a shit about him.
No.
Like, oh my God, he started talking and he threw him against the wall and just like was crushing him. And and then after, like Kang kind of tossed him to the side, then his next thing was like, oh, maybe I can be friends with the Ant-Man gang. And that was his next, seek of approval. And then he ended up dying for it. But I mean, I thought the way he died was really funny. Like, Scott, you've always been like a brother to me. And he's like, yep. And at least I died an Avenger. Yep, you're in. I don't know. I thought that stuff was pretty funny.
People got a lot of mixed opinions on MODOK, but
I thought he was a good punchline, honestly.
If anything, he was the punchline of the movie, which I feel like, this movie didn't have too many punchlines in a good way.
Yeah, no.
So it fit that he was one of the punchlines.
Yeah, like I'm glad, bro. No, but I am so glad that they didn't try to do any punchlines with like Kang or anything,
no,
bro.
Thank God.
I would have been furious if they tried to do that with Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
So like as like keeping him out of it, keeping him the serious, badass villain. That part I am glad they did it the way they did it, and they kind of diverted the comedy elsewhere.
They did. Okay, I want to talk about another character, which we brought this up earlier. So Bill Murray as Lord Kryler.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, I was kind of pissed that they killed him off that quickly.
Yeah, I was too.
He kind of, brought in a little conflict between the group, between Janet and Hank.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious how like this entire dinner conversation, bro, Hank is over there just like a jealous high schooler.
Yeah.
Seeing the relationship between Janet and Kryler.
Because, Janet was stuck down there for 30 years. Like she said, she has needs.
She had needs, bro. And then we got a very uncomfortable spaceship conversation.
Right.
Or quantum ship, whatever you want to call it. Oh, let's talk about that real quick. Since I brought it up.
Okay.
I thought the whole like living buildings and living ships, like everything down there was alive.
Yes.
And that's how their technology worked.
Yes.
I thought that was a really cool aspect to add to the quantum realm.
Okay.
Especially when you're dealing with like microscopic organisms and like that's what we're seeing in the quantum realm. I thought that was a really cool thing to put in there.
So staying with that one scene at the bar with Bill Murray's Lord Kryler.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the part where it feels like very Star Wars vibe.
Yes.
Did it not feel like the cantina?
This is the Star Wars cantina. Literally, it is literally the Star Wars cantina.
Star Wars cantina.
You got strange, spacey looking drinks.
Yeah.
You got all kinds of wacky alien type looking people in there. Like it was the Star Wars cantina.
You got even the food,
people eating like live creatures in the drink. And also, I will say, I thought that was a hilarious way to make him die, that he just made that creature big. That was pretty funny.
So yeah, that's definitely the part where it felt Star Wars. Because then, they make them take a shot of this one liquid so that they can understand everyone down there.
I literally predicted that when I saw the ooze.
Really?
I knew that's what it was going to do. They were going to be able to understand him after that. I feel like there's a lot of... sci-fi stuff where there's one piece of technology, there's one like thing that you take and then suddenly everybody speaks English.
Well, because think about it, like Star Wars 2, I mean, they all, you got people speaking English and then you got the aliens speaking all these wacky languages, but they all somehow understand each other.
Yeah.
So I guess that was where they kind of differentiated it.
Star Wars doesn't really address that, honestly. Like English is just like kind of the galactic standard, so like everybody speaks it. Except for, your few like weird species like the Genosians and that kind of thing.
Oh, also, damn, looked like Tusken Raiders were in that movie too.
Yeah. Oh, I literally said that immediately. I said that and I was like, hey, look, it's Tusken Raiders.
That's exactly what I said to myself.
Yep.
And I do want to talk about one more guest cameo, Ruben Robesa as the coffee shop guy. Now, if you watch I Think You Should Leave, then that he is also in an episode. He's in a I Think You Should Leave sketch where they're talking about... I don't even know how to explain it, bro. That show is so unhinged.
Bro, okay, so in this sketch, though, they were talking about what improvements you would like to see to this new car that they're making. And all of his suggestions are the complete opposite of what you would expect, but everybody in the room is just agreeing with him like he's sane.
Honestly, I just wanted to bring this cameo up because I wanted to put a spotlight on I Think You Should Leave. If you haven't, you got to watch it. Sketch comedy. Honestly, I can't even really explain it. It is just like the weirdest comedy. It is unhinged. And the more you watch it, the funnier it gets.
Yeah. And honestly, it's like one of those things where if you meet another person that watches it, best friends for life.
Best friends.
Automatically.
If you start quoting I Think You Should Leave to me, we will be friends.
Yeah.
We will. So Ruben Robesa, wanted to give a shout out to him because I Think You Should Leave is great.
And he was funny as the coffee shop guy.
He was funny. Anything else you can think of spoiler-wise? I mean, yes, Kang does die. This version of Kang. The exiled one.
He dies.
Yeah, we don't know if he's really dead.
I don't buy that he dies.
I hope not, to be honest.
I hope not either.
Because they always fucking kill them.
I know. And also, I will say, one thing that did piss me off about this is they made Kang kind of weak. Bro.
You think so?
Ant-Man beat Kang. Like, what? I was pretty disappointed by that. I was like, I truly thought this movie was gonna be Ant-Man taking L after L. Like, I would have been okay.
That was gonna be his sacrifice,
and I would have been okay with that. I'm like, bro, you're going up against Kang the Conqueror.
Right.
I don't blame you if you don't win, and if you die, bye Paul Rudd. Like, that's it.
Adios, amigo.
I would have been okay with that.
But that's the way it's got to be sometimes.
I know. And because, bro, he's Kang the Conqueror. And I still don't understand how he lost. And I get it. This is not our only version of Kang. It's possible that, the one that we face in the Avengers movie, like the big bad Kang, is not this one. Like, this was kind of another introduction to Kang.
But also, like, he still was a conqueror, and we saw the flashbacks of what he was doing to other worlds.
Dude, he was destroying world after world. Like, he was a badass.
So even though he didn't have his technology at the end, and it kind of became just a hand-to-hand combat between him and Ant-Man, bro, I mean, yeah, he was getting in his ass and laying some hard punches on him.
I was kind of shocked that Ant-Man landed any.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was whooping his ass. Yeah. So I really wasn't expecting Kang to lose.
No, I wasn't.
In any form.
I wasn't either. And I'm kind of mad that he did.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, my theory, though, is like, okay, so he got like sucked into that.
The core. Energy core.
He got sucked into the core. My theory is that
multiversal core.
Yeah, multiversal core.
Yeah.
And time. So time, multiverse. Like he can go. He can literally go anywhere in any multiverse, basically.
Right.
But my theory, is that when he got sucked into there, so that was his escape. He kept saying it every time. That was the engine. That was his escape. So my theory is that he got thrown like to a random place in the multiverse and time. Like he didn't die. It just didn't put him where he wanted to be.
Okay.
But I mean, according to the other Kangs in that post-credit scene, or the mid-credit scene, that he died. That's what they're convinced. They're convinced that he died. Yes. And honestly, even if he did die, it's not like we really have to worry about that. We saw an entire stadium full of Kangs.
So yes, let's dive into the post-credit scenes now, which there are two. So first post-credit scene, we do have a Council of Kangs, where we have all the Kangs from these different universes coming together. There's 3 that seem to be the heads in charge.
Yeah.
And they say that the exiled one, which is the one we see in the quantum realm, is dead, and that people are now figuring out the multiverse.
See, I still feel like that the one we saw in Ant-Man though, that's gonna be our main Kang because because look at his costume design. That's the traditional Kang the Conqueror costume design.
Some in the Council of Kangs looked a little similar, but no, that was like straight out of the comics. Right.
And I didn't really see any in the stadium that looked similar, but why would we be dealing with like a stadium Kang? You know what I mean? Like, it kind of reminded me of like Rick and Morty, you know, there's a bunch of Ricks in the Citadel, but they're not Rick C-137. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, why would we deal with one random Rick or one random Kang?
Is the MCU trying to be Rick and Morty?
It's possible. However, I will say though, I bet Jonathan Majors had a blast making that stadium. Cause did you see how insane like he made some of the people in the stands?
Yeah, I did.
Like, bro, he was like, he was like screaming and everything. That shit was funny.
So that's the first post-credit scene. Second post-credit scene.
That shit was fire.
This one was fire. This was juicy. So we basically get a teaser for season 2 of Loki.
Yes. And we see like the origin of Kang when he. Bro, you know what's even like more wild to me? So if I can't remember correctly if Kang is originally from the future or if he just invented time travel and went to the future to get his technology, but that's originally how he got his super advanced technology like centuries before anybody else, is he invented time travel.
Right.
And, you know, went to the future or is from the future. I can't remember. And that's why he's able to be like a step ahead of everybody else.
Right. So we see Loki and Morbius watching a Victoria Science presentation delivered by a gentleman named Victor Timely.
Yeah.
Who is yet another time travel identity of Kang.
Yeah. And it looked like it was taking place in like the early 1900s or late 1800s, something like that. So
Victorian. I don't know when that is, but
whatever.
Right.
You could see what the time period looked like.
Yes.
Honestly, kind of reminded me of Red Dead 2.
So like late 1800s.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, like that.
And Loki was like, yo, that's him.
That's him.
That's him.
And to me, honestly, I don't know why, but I think it's even more wild if he is from that time period, invented time travel in that time period, traveled to the future, got his technology and became the Conqueror. To me, that seems like a way more interesting story. I don't know why. Instead of just being like born in the future.
No, honestly, I will say, even though people aren't saying this is the best movie, between this movie and what we see from the post-credit scene, this does make me really excited for Loki season 2.
Yeah, it does. No, this makes me excited for any future project with Loki, Kang, or honestly, Avengers. Like, all right, you know, let's just say Loki and Kang. Yeah. I love Kang. I love Jonathan Majors as Kang.
Yes.
Like, I already love Jonathan Majors. And him seeing him as this badass character just makes me really excited for the future of the MCU.
Moral of the story is Jonathan Majors killed it as Kang in this movie. Definitely the biggest highlight of this movie. We're going to see a lot of him in the future.
Yeah.
We're going to see a lot of him. And I'm not mad about that. So yeah, one thing that I forgot to mention as well. So we finally get the backstory of how, you know, Kang ends up down there. He gets exiled and how him and Janet meet and why Kang is looking for Janet.
Yeah.
Because she has the energy core to travel from multiverse to multiverse.
Yeah, or actually more like she has the means to get it for him.
Yes, because she blew it up.
Yeah,
until she grew it.
She has the technology of Hank Pym's tech to shrink it back down. However, I did find that kind of interesting. He has all this advanced technology, but he can't figure out the shrinking of Hank Pym's stuff. I thought that was interesting too.
There is a pretty long scene where they are working together, kind of growing a relationship. And then when they finally get the energy core back working, it's, because it's connected neurologically.
It's a neural link to his mind, and she was able to see into his mind.
Yes, and she saw what he really was. But now a lot of people were complaining that the first half of the movie was kind of a snooze fest, a lot of dialogue. Now, I'm not going to lie. I love dialogue.
I do too.
I'm a heavy dialogue person. Was it the best dialogue at times? No, but honestly, I did really enjoy the scenes between Kang and Janet when they were growing a relationship.
That was like the most real Janet felt.
Yeah.
And that was the most connection I saw with her and another character.
Right, yeah. I feel like that was the most connection we felt with two characters in this movie.
Yeah.
So to me, I really enjoyed those scenes. Honestly, I was surprised how much I enjoyed Michelle Pfeiffer in this movie as Janet.
Yeah.
Because I know we didn't get much of her in
not at all. Wasp. She just came in at the end.
Right. So I was kind of surprised how much I did enjoy her in this.
Yeah.
But I'm a big dialogue guy, so I didn't mind the dialogue.
No, I especially like those scenes too. Honestly, I love learning backgrounds of characters.
Yeah.
I love getting that history. So that was a great history that we got to see from Kang and his relationship with Janet. Like you said, they didn't really dive too deep into these characters. But I thought the side characters' character design was really cool.
In the Quantum Realm?
Yeah, in the Quantum Realm. Like Jintara, I thought like one of the coolest things I thought about her was her like staff.
Yeah.
The way it killed people, I don't know. I thought it was really cool. They like kind of phased out of existence.
Yeah.
That was really cool. The laser head guy, I thought I don't know. It was
cool design. It was almost like
he honestly kind of reminded me of like a Korg mentality in battle. Like he was just like kind of ready for it, and he was like powerful too.
Kind of remind me of in the first Thor, the bad guy in the first Thor. I forget. I mean that machine.
The Destroyer.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't remember if that was the name.
Yeah.
Kind of reminded me of him.
Yeah. Very similar power set, except that one actually had like a human personality. And then of course we got is it Veb? Is Veb the blob guy? I think that's him.
Yeah, it describes him as like a slimy.
Yeah. And his whole obsession with holes.
Yes.
That was hilarious.
I felt so at home with that.
Right?
So he was talking about he was so amazed that these humans had so many holes. And that blob was curious to how many holes Ant-Man had.
Yeah, and the telepath, he was like, he's a human, he has 7 holes.
Right.
And then you just see Paul Rudd.
Yes. And I know damn well every guy in the theater was doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
We were counting all our holes.
Yeah. And then after about like maybe like 6 or 7 seconds, Paul Rudd's finally like, yeah.
Yeah, 7.
Yeah, 7.
Like, wait, is there really that many? When you think about it? Yeah. 7 holes.
7 holes.
No, that was honestly really funny. Because, I mean, little inside of our group, our friend group.
Yeah.
We have a whole thing.
Yeah.
We just talk about stuffing our holes.
Stuffing our hole.
It sounds so bad, but we say we're like, we want to stuff our holes with food and shit. You know?
Honestly, we just use it in like the most inappropriate settings ever just because it's weird and funny.
It's weird and funny.
Yeah.
You know, you got to get our group. You know?
And then they even made a callback to it later in the movie. He was like, he got shot with a bunch of lasers, and then he's like, because Veb didn't have holes.
That's why he loved holes.
That's why he loved holes. He was so sad that he didn't have holes, and then he got shot with a bunch of lasers, and then now he had holes, and he's like, I have holes. And then for some reason, he was able to consume people and just like incinerate you in seconds.
Like, I didn't know he could do that.
No one knew he could do that. The side characters were good in their own right.
They were funny.
Yeah.
We just didn't really have time to grow with them or connect with them.
No.
I didn't really like
them. And honestly, I'm kind of glad that they didn't turn this, because honestly, I feel like each of these movies, there's so much content where you could have a 3-hour movie every time an MCU movie comes out. But this one, I felt like the pacing was very good. It was 2 hours. You know, we weren't in there forever. Like, I wasn't like waiting for the end. And I did like the pacing of this movie a lot.
Pacing was decent. Because we didn't spend any time with like any of the oppressed characters in the quantum realm, and that rebellion kind of seemed,
a little lackluster.
Yeah, not really big payoff there. And with Cass being the one to uplift the motivational speech for this rebellion, I was like, bro,
honestly,
I'm
I was
not
like,
buying you at all.
And no, I would have. Yeah, that I will say her speech was very stupid,
Yes.
and also
I'm not. Yeah,
I feel like every single person who was there to rebel, they would have been like, "Who the fuck is this?
right,
Like, why do we care?
Right.
What you have to say?"
right.
Yeah, that would have been their immediate response. But whatever. Not every MCU movie is gonna be perfect. This one is far from it, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like we said, obviously it has holes. It's not the best. But to me, it wasn't the worst movie of the MCU.
No.
I enjoyed it quite more than a handful of MCU movies.
Yeah.
I was entertained.
And
I was entertained.
As much as I love our boy George over at Movies and Stuff, God, did he have some strong words to say about this movie.
Shitted on it
He
hard.
hated this movie. And, George, I love you, but I can't agree with you on this. I don't think it was that bad.
It's so weird because the content creators out of do fall between George, Cinema Joe, 3C Films. Like, I've just never seen so many different opinions on this movie.
No, I feel like there's normally a general consensus.
Like, there's people absolutely shitting on it, but then 3C Films, for the most part, he enjoyed it. Like, obviously, it isn't great, but for the most part, he was entertained. Cinema Joe gave it 2.5 stars. That's what I gave it on Letterboxd as well. It was 2.5 stars.
Yeah. I mean, that's like a 50%.
I wouldn't necessarily say like with 5 stars, I feel like there's a bigger range with the stars.
I guess.
Because I mean, I think 2.5 stars is fair. And if people give it 3 stars, I'm not mad at that either.
I feel like it could have been 3.
Okay, see, I feel it can range from a 2.5 to 3 stars.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad at that at all. But Thor: Love and Thunder, like I gave that 1.5 stars.
I'd give it half a star.
Honestly, I'd probably bump it down.
Yeah.
So this movie isn't the worst. It's entertaining. I think people will have fun with it. It's
an Ant-Man movie. I feel like that's the main point of all these Ant-Man movies. However, this one's definitely different from the first two.
Yes, very different.
Definitely different.
Because this is a big threat.
Yeah.
Usually the Ant-Man is just like those simple heist movies.
Bro, it was literally jokes. They were jokes.
Little breaks from the MCU.
Yes.
Which made it great. Like, honestly, I love the first Ant-Man movie.
Yeah.
So within the Ant-Man trilogy, I would say Quantumania is the second best to me. I think the first Ant-Man, clearly the best.
The best. And then Ant-Man and the Wasp, third. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Quantumania second, Ant-Man and the Wasp third. Honestly, Ant-Man and the Wasp is one of my least favorite MCU movies. It's very forgettable.
Yeah, it is
like,
forgettable.
Do you remember the villain? Do you remember what like you don't remember really the plot? It's very forgettable.
I remember the whole point being to bring Janet back, and then like there was the ghost villain that for some reason she can't touch things because of experiments. I can't remember.
Hey, and then one movie with Lawrence Fishburne.
And then I was just about to say, and then Lawrence Fishburne is there for some reason, and he was like a father to the ghost person.
Yeah, I would say it's in like the middle tier.
Yeah.
Of the MCU.
Yeah.
Not top tier. Not top tier at all.
No. I mean, but if you were to give this out of 10 rating, what would you give it?
Out of 10?
Yeah. I feel like 5 stars don't cover it, bro. I feel like it don't
5 stars does cover it, bro.
I feel like it doesn't.
It does.
I feel like it doesn't. If you were to give this out of 10, like a something point what?
Like a 6.
Really?
6, yeah.
All right. Honestly, like me personally, bro, I'd probably give it like a 7.4.
Really?
I liked it.
Okay.
I thought it was fun.
No, it was fun. It was fun. And when I say a 6 out of 10, don't think that's like, damn, that's a shitty ass movie. Like 6 out of 10s can be decently enjoyable movies. 6, 6.5. I wouldn't give it a 7 out of 10 though.
All right. Well, to each his own.
To each his own. That's why we do this, because we each have our own opinions.
Maybe like a 7.1.
You want to bump it down a little bit?
Yeah.
What do you want bumped down to?
Maybe like a 7.1.
7.1?
Yeah. I'll give it right above a 7.
Gotta keep it in the 7?
I'll keep it in the 7s.
Okay.
Right above a 7, but
Yeah.
maybe not 7.4.
It's going to be in the 6s for me.
All right.
This is the beginning of Phase 5, so we don't have any rankings of Phase 5 yet, clearly.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you haven't seen it, well, I mean, if you're listening to this, you've probably seen it by now.
Yeah.
But if you haven't, you are going to go into this with not knowing what the fuck to expect because there are so many polar opposite opinions. So, hey, maybe your bar is set low and you go in and have a great time.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like Blake was telling me, you know, like, oh, apparently this has like not that great reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. I was like, oh, well, now I'm expecting a shit movie.
Right.
I ended up enjoying it.
Right. Exactly.
I had a great time with this movie.
So, I mean, sometimes it's kind of nice to expect to be disappointed and you get a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
All right. So that's going to do it for our review on Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. We got an episode coming up next week. I got to record a Scream Marathon episode with Take One Podcasts, hosted by Michael. I'm excited for that because I'm actually really excited for Scream 6.
I feel like we're going to have a decent amount of podcasts coming up. We got Creed 3 coming. Yeah. We got Creed 3 coming out. We got Mandalorian season 3 coming out.
No, you know what we need to go see? We need to see Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear.
We got to see Cocaine Bear. What's it? Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. That's out too. Now it's only available like very limited select times. Like there'll be one showing a certain day.
Yeah.
But damn, I'm actually kind of really excited to see Cocaine Bear. Let's see. Next for the MCU, we do have, what do we have? Oh, Guardians 3.
Yeah.
Right. We don't really have many shows coming out.
Not that I can think of.
Which I mean, honestly,
Loki season 2.
Season 2. The Marvels did get pushed back to November. It was scheduled for this summer. I think in July, it did get pushed back to November. I mean, honestly, I'm completely okay with these longer breaks in between Marvel projects.
Yeah, hopefully they take their damn time because, bro, I feel like Phase 4 was here's this, bro.
Oh, there was a lot.
No break.
There was a lot.
At no time was the foot off the pedal.
And honestly, because since I've been, Oscars are coming up, I've been watching a lot of the Oscar movies and just a lot of different movies in general. And it's been kind of nice. I'm like, damn, each movie's kind of a breather from one another.
Yes.
Their own different story where it's not, all these superhero projects that are kind of the same.
It builds anticipation, bro.
Yeah.
It builds anticipation. You keep releasing stuff. One, the quality is not going to be as good. And it's like, you don't want to overwhelm people to the point where like, holy shit, there's another one I have to go watch. Like it's overwhelming.
So once again, thanks for listening. If you stuck around to the end, we really appreciate it. If you like this episode, make sure and give us a rating. It really helps us out, whether you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, you name it. Give us a rating. As always, make sure to follow our social media accounts with TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. So that's going to do it for this review on Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. I'm your host, Blake. As always, with me, my co-host, Garrett. And we'll see you guys next time on Blake's Takes.
See you guys.